GTO 404 speed. Going up against Thomas Norton out of Alder Springs.
1969 Pontiac GTO. And if you think this is a base model GTO, well, you're a dum-dum because it clearly states Ram Air on the hood. Yes, for the low price of only $168, you could get the optional Ram Air in your GTO in 1969. That means a 400 cube V8 with a compression ratio of 10.75 to 1, and it was rated 366 horsepower, 16 over the base model, and 445 pound-feet of torque. But wait, there's more. Inside you'll find a 4-speed manual transmission, and even though that might be more fun in the street, it's a little less consistent on the drag strip. Out back you'll find a somewhat aggressive set of 390 gears, and that might make this GTO quite the handful off the line. The GTO wasn't a very light car in 1969. This one with driver included is 4,034 pounds. There weren't too many Ram Air 3 cars with manual transmissions sold in 1969, but you can still find a few. There were 6,143 in total. Muscle Car Review tested a 69 GTO Ram Air 3 and it ran 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds and the quarter mile in 14.1 seconds at 98.2 miles per hour. Let's check out its opponent. 1973 Chevrolet Corvette. And sure, by this point the United States was well into the smog era, but you could still get a decently powered Corvette. Just not the base model that had a peasantly 350 cubic inch V8 with only 190 horsepower. But for only $250, you could upgrade to the engine that this car features, and that's the LS4 454 cubic inch V8. Compression ratio was only 8.5 to 1, but it was still able to make an impressive 275 net horsepower and 390 pound-feet of net torque at only 2,800 RPM. Peak torque at 2,800 RPM? What is this, a Buick? Inside you'll find a drag race friendly 3-speed automatic transmission, and being a GM, of course it's a turbo 400. And out back is a set of highway friendly gears and possibly 2 highway friendly 308. Even though this finely tuned machine has a body made of fiberglass, it's probably not as light as you're expecting. This thing with driver is 3,945 pounds. So if you factor in the weight and that rear gearing, this car is going to have its handful with that GTO. A 454 equipped Corvette wasn't the most popular car in 1973, but it sold alright. There were 4,412 produced in total. Car and Driver magazine tested a 454 Corvette in December of 1972. It ran the quarter mile in 14.7 seconds at 97 miles per hour. How about we see what these cars can do today?
Next, 73 Corvette Big Lot 454 Turbo 400. Thomas Norton out of Tennessee up against Tony R. out of New Franklin, Wisconsin. 69 Pontiac GTO 400 Corvette. Looks pretty close. Corvette may have him. And the win does go to the Pontiac. 14 catch up by the following Pontiac. And the win does go to the Pontiac.
In a close race, it's the GTO that takes home the win, running 14.631 seconds at 95.05 miles per hour. And in the other lane, the Corvette was hot on its tail, running 14.635 seconds at 97.16 miles per hour. Let's check out round 2.
Left lane, Tony Rosendahl out of New Franklin, Wisconsin, 69 Pontiac GTO 404 speed. Going up against Thomas Norton out of Alder Springs. Next to Ponzo, and they can begin. The win does go to the Pontiac 1429 at 97 to a losing 14. 454. 27
In the second round, it's again the GTO that takes home the win, running 14.29 seconds at 97.31 miles per hour. And in the other lane, the Corvette ran 14.68 seconds at 96.19 miles per hour. Even though this best of three has already been decided, these owners are absolutely awesome and they decided to run that third round anyway. Let's check it out.
In the left lane, 73 Corvette, big block, turbo 400. In the right lane, 69 Pontiac GTO, 404. Start. And at the stripe, it's close. The win does go to the Pontiac 14. Facing each other to the 8-mile Corvette. Looks like he's got the edge.
In the final round, the Pontiac had a slightly worse ET, but they had a great reaction time and they were able to cross the finish line first, taking home the clean sweep, running 14.47 seconds at 96.42 miles per hour. In the other lane, the Corvette ran 14.44 seconds at 95.70 miles per hour. A huge thanks to both of the owners for bringing out these cars. It was absolutely awesome seeing them on the drag strip. I'll catch you guys at the next one.